battle. This one in the AFC South, Jags and the Colts
Would you
on
ever
CBS.
bungee jump, Joe? Would you do that?
As mascots go, shout out to the Jags. I mean, I would not do that. Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014, and they'd lose more than a game in this one. Late first quarter, Trevor Lawrence hits Brian Thomas Jr.
This is
on
a throw.
Dot and a great catch.
This is
one-handed by BTJ.
Yeah.
2 plays later, Lawrence
Jacoby, he's been a great addition,
seen
right?
the end zone 3 times, I believe, in 5 games since making his way over there to Duval. Presence being felt and a spectacular play there to punctuate the drive. Earlier in the week, it was reported Daniel Jones has been playing through that fractured left fibula. We heard that last week. Well, it's the other leg this time, and it did not look good. Jones down in some pain, and as you take a look there, non-contact, and the leg just gives under him. Team called it an Achilles. Shane Steichen said post-game they're going to do some more imaging, but it doesn't look good for Daniel Jones, and so much comes into question now for that quarterback and this team. Not long ago, Mac, it's a 1 seed, an MVP running back, a quarterback who's going to be making $50 million.
Life comes at you fast in the NFL.
It's everything but that right now. Later in this one, a fumble there. 2 plays later from the 28.
ETN.
Travis Etienne, he ate you up in fantasy is what I'm being told.
He did. I love the throwback jerseys, by the way, 1995.
I love when a running back goes no gloves. Rainy day, no gloves. I want to feel that thing, you know? Etienne's second rush touchdown of the game, 7th of the season. 15 seconds left in the half. Lawrence wants more, finds Tim Patrick. Jags up 20-10 at the half, most points in a half since 2017. They go on to win this one, no contest, 36-19. A 10th consecutive home win against the Colts. It's a streak that dates back to 2015 as they clinch a 3rd winning season in the past 4 years and take control of that division. Indy, nothing but question marks now.
Well, Trevor, congratulations on the win. How did you guys put up a season-high 36, get this dub, and I would call it less than ideal conditions?
It's just, our team, I feel like we're really resilient. I think we're coming together at the right time. I like everything about what we're doing. I feel like the team is really coming together. Complementary football. Had some we got 2 possessions inside the 30 from turnovers. That helps you score. And then just complementary football. Special teams were great, and we just did what we needed to do. It was an awesome day.
Understanding every year stands alone, but you've been in this spot before with previous Jacksonville teams. What's different about this group right now?
I think every team's different, and you go through a whole season, you got to figure out who you are as a team, and I just love that we're coming together. We can win no matter what it takes, whether it's clean, it's ugly, defense has to pick us up, offense has to go pick us up, go score to win, it doesn't matter. And obviously it all came together today and we controlled the game, but I just think we got a lot of character coming together. We've been through some adversity, and we should keep going. We got a lot more left.
Last one for you. I'm curious because that QB brotherhood's pretty close-knit. When you see Daniel Jones go down with a pretty serious injury, it's an Achilles, how does that affect you and maybe some of the ways you guys approach the game?
Man, I didn't even know that that's what it was. It's just, I know Daniel, I know him a little bit, and he's a great guy. I wouldn't want that for anyone, especially not him. So it's tough, know the type of person he is and the season he's having. I hate it for him. And it is a brotherhood, you know how hard it is to play this position, how hard it is to play this game in general. So you have a mutual respect for one another. Really praying for him. Hope he heals up quickly. That sucks. I didn't know that.
Well, congrats and stay healthy, Trevor. Thanks.
Thanks, Evan. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a very interesting moment right there, indicative of how locked in these guys are in the course of a game as Twitter, X, all your group texts are going off about this injury for Daniel Jones. That's a quarterback on the other side, locked into the task at hand as our Evan Washburn passes along that news of the possible season-ending injury there to Daniel Jones. Best 13-game starts in Jags history. Lawrence orchestrating this one. All right, back in studio, and we'll get to the Jags here in a moment, but I want your thoughts here on Daniel Jones and the Colts, this fall from grace as a team, and this really unfortunate moment for the individual. We're talking about a 1 seed, looking at the future, trading firsts for a defensive back, doing all these things as the arrow points up, and it feels like since that moment, the arrow's completely flipped, and now Daniel Jones squarely in question what is likely an Achilles injury.
It's tough. Man, just being a fan of the sport and knowing how difficult it is for these players to go out and do their job at a high level week in and week out, and to have something like this happens that you have no control over, it sucks. It's the nature of a player in the National Football League, but it sucks. Because the thing about this is that they will continue to play football games. They will continue to move on and go about their day-to-day routine.
Yeah.
For Daniel Jones, everything changes right now. The comeback story that we were in the midst of watching, if you didn't have a dog in the race, you were just cheering for his ability to go through the adverse situations, not live up to the level that he was supposed to live up. You know, go get to another team, a new team a year ago, played sparingly a little bit there, and then get this opportunity and you win the job in training camp, and ultimately you became the talk of the league in the first month and a half of the season. Not only were you balling, but because of your efforts, your team was one of the best teams in the National Football League. And now all of that ends because Daniel Jones was on the brink. Our very own Jonathan Jones talked about the Indianapolis Colts the willingness to pay him deservingly so he can stay and be a part of their organization as their franchise quarterback. Now, all of those things are up in the air now because he's injured, and this is a severe injury that probably won't be cleared until maybe a year from now.
The assumed injury carries 9 to 12 months for a ruptured Achilles.
Yes, assumed.
That hasn't been officially reported, but all of the signs of what we saw tell us what this is for Daniel Jones. The franchise tag may be unlikely now. A long-term deal, very unlikely now. And you feel for a guy that really took his opportunity and ran forward with it. We have to look at the road forward here for Indianapolis. It's a team that's lost 4 of their last 5. They fall to 8-5 in a very competitive AFC picture. A step back here in the division, a massive step back in terms of that wild card race. What is the road forward other than hand it to Jonathan Taylor and hope you can scrape out a couple wins?
You just got to get Riley Leonard and get him along as soon as possible to be able to play serviceable football. And your defense got to be better. I mean, we didn't see anything from the defense. I understand we talked about the injuries, the injury to Daniel Jones, but your defense, I understand you were missing some guys also, but at some point in time, you got to bow your backup and get the significant stops. So when you have a backup quarterback, it puts more pressure on the defenders to be able to make sure they're as flawless as possible because you have a backup quarterback. The passing game won't be clicking as it was clicking with Daniel Jones. When you have a Riley Leonard who will be probably making his first professional start next week against the Seattle Seahawks on the road. And that's the thing about the Indianapolis Colts. We already were talking about, you know, have they fizzled out from what we've seen over the last few weeks, not playing winning football? Have teams kind of figured them out, you know, putting more pressure on the passing game, slowing down Jonathan Taylor? So things were already getting difficult for the Colts. They're going to be extremely difficult now if they have to play without Daniel Jones the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier in our show, there's a traffic jam of like teams fighting for a few seats at the table. It's a big table, but there are only a few seats available. And you got quite a few people trying to sit down. And in their division also, because as we talked about the Jaguars, who they played today, but we can't forget about the Houston Texans, who found their stride. And we know how great their defensive team is. So for the Colts, man, it's going to be a long season.
A lot between them and where they want to go.
Then, yes.
Maybe not head of the table right now, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, I feel like there's still a perception and performance disconnect. 29.8 points per game the last 5. Where has this team kicked it into high gear, and are they getting the respect they deserve right now?
T-Law, it starts with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has done a great job protecting Wilson. Protecting Wilson like it's a newborn baby. Shouts out to the new dad, by the way. That's what you got to do. And that's what he's done so far over the last few weeks, and that's what he did today. I mean, 244 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. I love when he is seeing the football field like this, and he's not pressing the issue to try to make something happen that isn't there. Bill Cowher used to tell us all the time, to the quarterbacks, sometimes punting the football is a good thing because you don't change momentum when you try to force something that's not there, and now you create turnovers. That's what we're seeing from Trevor Lawrence. And oh, by the way, BTJ is finally showing up. Brian Thomas Jr., we know he is him. For whatever reason, he wasn't living up to the billing early in the year. But